Alright, we're going to be using shad again. Frozen shad. Start out with small baits, and then I'll throw out one bigger one just to see if we can get anything to hit. This is one way I'll throw out bigger baits. Instead of just cutting the tail off, I like to fillet it. Fillet it like that. And you could use a double hook rig on that. Here's the double hook rig right here. As you can see, I got two hooks. I'll go ahead and show you with this bait how I would set it up. Since you're running two hooks, you don't have to hook it in the middle. You can hook it in the front. I'm gonna go right through the head like that with one. And then you want to make sure, I always make sure when I do this, that I come in on one side of the spine and back out the other side. And you want that hook to sit like that. That way if a little fish starts nibbling on this, that will catch them. If a bigger fish will get all this in his mouth, at least one of these hooks will go through and hook them. You can also run these fillets. I always like to fold them in half like that and then hook them through like this. Like that, you can run a fillet like that. And fillets sometimes will fall off when you cast, so when I do a fillet, I always like to have another piece of bait on there just in case the fillet rips off when it hits the water. When you first get to a new spot, you want to make sure you throw out an assortment. You want to throw out an assortment of whatever bait you have. Like right now, I'm going to be throwing out a couple different size heads. I'm going to be throwing out a fillet, and I'm going to be throwing out some chunks. That way I can just see what they're biting. Because sometimes they would rather hit the chunks instead of the heads. Sometimes they want a big piece of bait. Sometimes a little bait will catch you the biggest fish. So just make sure you're throwing out an assortment when you first get to a spot. I mean, I know it's easy to just throw out the same thing. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to throw out some bluegill where you can legally do that. Throw out some bluegill and some shad. Or if you're out east, you could throw out skipjack and all that. Just make sure you go with bait fish. Anytime you're baiting with fish, make sure it's a fish from the body of water you're working on. Keystone Lake has a ton of shad and bluegill in it here, so that's why I'm fishing with shad. Just try to find what bait is in the water you're fishing in and what they want the most. There may be days that they'll want bluegill instead of shad, you know, it just depends on the fish. It's okay too if you put on a fillet and a head and just see if, because that will tell you if they want a bigger bait or not, because that's a low profile, pretty good sized bait right there.